Hello again, traders. Andrew Curry here. If you're new here, give me a like and subscribe. And if you go to my website, you can sign up to my free trading newsletter. Now, I just want to have another look at this trade here that I was looking at in the previous video. We have double bottom here, which is, of course, test 1, this yellow box, test 2, this yellow box. We were playing for the third test and for entering on this candle here, straight up hit the target. And as you can see, that's not what happened. Instead, switched down to 15. As we saw in the previous video, in fact, it's drawn the arrow in here now. It hit the stop loss by only 1 pip over and then hit what would have been the target. Okay, we've all been there with these trades. It's like the market deliberately wants to test us, but you've got to be careful saying that because it's almost like you're putting divine forces into the market as if there's someone controlling going, I'll give him, I'll show him, I'll get him. But that's really not what's happening. It's cold, logical. The markets do what the markets do. The market is not out to get you. Don't take it personally. And the reason I say that is don't get emotional. How many people have been in a situation like this where it feels like the market is saying, up yours? And you've placed revenge trades in anger. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close my eyes so I can't see all of the people now who are raising their hands. Yeah, and you know what it is? I'm raising my arm. You might not be able to see it. It might just be off camera. But yeah, we've been there. You know, a situation like this where it just stops us out and you think, and you attack yourself and you think, oh, if it's only my stop wasn't too tight. Oh, now I've lost this money. And, you know, this would have been a lovely trade. 2.96 to 1 risk reward. Nearly a 3 to 1 risk reward. Lovely. Lovely trade. And it almost seemed to insult us. And this is with a conservative target. As you can see, it only just hit that conservative target. The structure point between here and here. Well, we're most likely to see the beginnings of resistance. So what happens is we then trade in anger. And, you know, really, it's very tempting in the moment. And, look at what's happened. Oh, right, I'm going to win back my losses. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But, you know, I'm reminded of a quote by Carl Sagan when he's asked, yeah, but what does your gut think? He says, I tend not to think with my gut. I try to think with my brain. I'm paraphrasing a little bit there. But, you know, it's a good point. If we could just, okay, I'm just going to place a trade there, win back my loss. If we could do that, and it worked consistently over time, and it was profitable strategy, we wouldn't be bothering with all this learning technical analysis and doing our analysis and calculating stop loss positions and all. We'd just be doing it. We'd just be, I'm just going to play. Yeah, my gut says I'll put it there, take it off there. Yeah, okay, bang, look, I've won. If that was a good strategy, that is what we would be doing. Okay, so what you're doing when you're revenge trading, however much it seems that you want to do it at the time, what you're doing is you're throwing logic and skill and technical analysis and reason in the bin and just taking a gamble. And you really are just taking a gamble. And part of the problem is, it's been found with gamblers in casinos, that when you start losing, you start taking bigger risks because you really want to win back your losses. So you then go from, I want to be profitable, I'm a successful, profitable trader, to, well, really now I'm just trying to win back my losses just to break even. You know, it's tempting to think, well, okay, when I've won back the loss, I'll call it a day. But are you really going to do that? Because, you know, if you had placed a trade, maybe if you placed it here, thinking, it's hit the target after all, it's clearly in a bullish direction, now you would have lost even more. You know, if you'd have said, well, okay, I'm going to place down here and take it off when it gets back to, well, the market has actually hit the target and then gone as low as this. Hasn't actually hit our initial blue line there. So you'd still be in this trade, hoping that it goes lower, just hoping, praying. Doesn't work. And, you know, I'm reminded of a quote by Ricky Gervais. He said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, you know, I've been successful and made money with what I do. That is much more satisfying than just winning the lottery. And supposedly studies from lottery winners show a year after they win the lottery, they're no happier. There's no real satisfaction in winning the lottery. I know it's tempting to say, well, it'd be a nice problem to have that. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But it's not satisfying. And I remember when I first learned about forex trading, didn't know anything about technical analysis and how to do it, thinking, wouldn't it be good if I just, bought there, sold there and made money and I just did it? A bit like winning the lottery. But then when I learned technical analysis and was able to get money from the markets through preparation and skill, as opposed to just gambling, it was much more satisfying. I remember looking back thinking, that's satisfying because I feel like I have done the business there, set it up, made predictions, won, come out on top overall. Much more satisfying than just going, yeah, I just took a gamble. I just bought there and sold there and it just worked out. It's not satisfying to revenge trade. And the reason I'm talking all this is because one of the things that helped me was realizing it's not just about willpower. Don't just say, oh, well, I'm not going to revenge trade because I'm just going to have the discipline not to do it. I found it helped to say to myself, it's not satisfying. Not only is it probably not going to succeed, but even if it did, it's not a very satisfying strategy. If I could make money that way, I would be doing it. I wouldn't be bothering with all this technical analysis. I'd just be doing it. Keep away from revenge trading, not just because you've got the self-discipline not to do it, but because it just doesn't make any sense. It is a losing strategy to just enter trades at random in anger. Keep away from it. I hope that helps.